Hello and welcome to another episode of Rico'S Rants. I'm your host, Rico DiGiorgio. Alright. So, it's been a while. What do we want to talk about tonight? I know. Let's talk about a little fucking movie called Black fucking Panther. Holy shit. Okay, so I didn't see it opening night, and I didn't see it the next night, but I definitely... Wait, did I? I saw it a couple days afterwards. I'm so fucking frustrated because I was actually invited to go see it opening night with my brother. He texted me. He said, "We're going to see Black Panther tonight." I'm like, "Great, but I can't go without my friend Michael. Michael would kill me if I didn't have him with me because I went and saw Spider-Man: Homecoming without him, and he flipped the fuck out." So Joel, my brother, was like, "It's fine if you want to invite him, but the movie's at 10:30. I'm like, "You know what? I think we can manage that." I was at work and I was getting off at like 9 or something. Texted Michael. Michael said, "Dude, I'm off at 10. I can swing it. Let's do it." But he didn't like give me a confirmation in time, and then basically fucking Joel had to he called me and said, "Hey, I need to know." And I'm like, "Well, you said 10:30, right?" He's like, "Well, I'm at the theater now. I'm about to buy tickets. Maybe you guys should buy your own tickets, but now it looks like there's a 10 o'clock show." And I'm like, "Fuck. Well, we can't make that. He can't get off until 10. So I said, "You know what, dude? I really appreciate the invite. I think we're going to have to pass. I can't go without him, and he, can't make it." My brother Joel sent me a video that night of after or before the movie, and Ryan fucking Coogler was there, the director of Black Panther. The reason why is because my brother saw at the local theater, the Grand Lake Theater, which is like sort of an Oakland staple. And Ryan Coogler's from Oakland. So he was there and he made a whole big speech, and my brother sent me a video. And he's like, Ryan Coogler's like, honestly, he's like, "I used to go to this theater. I used to like hang out in that row over there. This is my theater, blah, blah, blah." He had his fucking premiere, and I missed it. Oh, pissed me off, man. But I was happy for my brother, and it made me be like, and then my brother like sent me a text being like, "You have to see this movie." So I knew I was going to love it. Stephanie, who you guys know, came into town like I think 2 or 3 days later, or later that night, or the next night, or some shit. We planned it out. She bought us tickets. She bought me, Michael, and her, and one of Michael's coworkers tickets. We all went there, and like they were running late, and like the movie was like about to start, and I had to run out, give them tickets, and like run back in. I even said like, "Fuck you guys, I am not waiting for this shit," and I fucking ran back. Movie started. We're all kind of calm. We could feel the tension building, and then you hear the voiceover, and like the Wakandan dialect, some African dialect, and it's talking about basically the beginning of the Black Panther mythology, the how a bunch of tribes stumbled upon this meteor of vibranium, which really is adamantium, but whatever, and how one of them got this power and became like the greatest warrior, the Black Panther, and was a protector of Wakanda. And then the next frame said, "Oakland, 1992. The entire theater went, "Hey!" Because we were in Oakland, and we were like, "Oh, fuck." I mean, technically we're in Emeryville, but still, like, this was Oakland to represent. Never, not really, I mean, really, very rarely have I seen a movie where it was like, Oakland, and it had such an impact. It's always LA, or New York, or Chicago, or, I mean, I guess if it's in the Bay Area, it's in San Francisco. Very rarely. Occasionally, you'll see like the Bay Area represented for like a movie having to do with like the 60s and it's like set in Berkeley or something like that. Like, we get that, but Oakland, dude, like, and it was 1992. I'm like, oh, fuck, dude, that's a year after I was born. Fuck. And it showed a group of black kids playing basketball, and I'm like, fuck, like, this, for all I know, this was in my, a neighborhood a stone's throw away from me. So the audience was like, ah, like that shit for a while. That was fucking awesome. And again, hold on. Like, before I even really progress, spoilers. Like, admittedly, I only saw the movie the once. So a lot of it is going to be me second guessing what's going on. I'm going to have to dig up the Wikipedia page on my phone to, like, pronounce names and shit properly. So just bear with me. But again, spoilers. So a movie starts with T'Chaka. I think T'Chaka's the dad. Now, see, now I gotta fucking do my homework. I should have done this before, but I was so engrossed, and I was like, fuck, I haven't done a rant in a couple weeks. I was gonna try and do one with Stephanie. Stephanie was out here visiting me, but we only had so much time, so we actually, like, we hardly, I don't even think we watched a movie apart from Black Panther. We hardly had any time for ourselves. We mostly cuddled. We hadn't seen each other in like 6 weeks, so we were really just kind of like lovey-dovey with each other and eating and going to see the movie and hanging out with my friend Michael, but like we hardly had any time to like just laze around. We really just wanted to just relax together and not do anything. Okay. So, gotta book up the plot. So, T'Chaka, King T'Chaka, is going to Oakland, and he visits what we find out is his brother. And his brother is named, oh God, bear with me, Nojobu. Okay. Nojobu was presumably to us is the second command of Wakanda, but has been living in Oakland to try and help the African Americans of the United States, to try and really help them out. And he has a second in command named Zuri, who feigns being a Wakandan. He comes off like a African American in the Bay Area, including an accent. And then, like, there's a knock at the door, and he looks at the people, and he says, there's some fucking, God, what the fuck did they say? There's some Diana Cross looking, Diana, I don't know what the fuck he said. I didn't really get the reference because I'm not black, but I knew it was a big deal. But it was, presumably it was a woman, there was two women with bald heads, so someone who was famous who was black with bald head, I guess. Anyways, oh man, I'm gonna come off really ignorant in this fucking video. I'm sorry. Anyways, Njobu tries to plead to T'Chaka, like, let us use the vibranium that has made us rich and advanced in technology to help these people, these poor, African Americans, basically our brothers. Not unlike Black Panthers, if you're really being honest. Which has got to be another connection. The fact that the Black Panthers, the Oakland Black Panthers, originated in Oakland, and there's a superhero named Black Panther. I mean, Ryan Coogler is from Oakland. But that's got to have been a deliberate being like, well, Black Panthers originated in Oakland, and there's a superhero named Black Panther, so, and I just happen to be from Oakland. As I love the fucking, like, full circle of this. It's you could tell this was like a personal project, and I'll talk about Coogler later. But for now, I'll kind of go through the plot. So, Njobu has been caught basically and revealed by Zuri, the other Wakandan, who was later played by Forrest Whitaker. This is all when they're young, and that he has been dealing vibranium through the black market through Ulysses Claw. And we saw Ulysses Claw in Avengers Age of Ultron, played by Andy Serkis. And I'll have to talk about Andy Serkis again later. So, there's innuendo that he's going to be arrested. That Njobu is going to be arrested, and then the scene ends. But the scene ends with a fucking spaceship that's basically invisible rising above the clouds, and the kids that are playing basketball look up. And that is such a fucking amazing thing that we've never seen, never fathomed. You know, sort of urban kids in Oakland, no less, looking up and seeing a fucking alien spacecraft. That is, like, astounding to me. It had never been touched on before, as far as I know. And it was great, because every time there's an alien movie, it's always a little white kid. I mean, maybe there's the token black kid, but, like, I was really fucking happy to see, you know, African Americans get their comic book movie. I mean, you could argue Blade, you could argue fucking Spawn or whatever, but this was their movie. And this was my movie. I mean, I was never a huge Black Panther fan, but you guys know I'm a big Marvel fan, so I at least knew of Black Panther, and I respected him. And I always, you know, to be fair, I had my pick of the litter of characters that I can associate with. Wolverine, Hulk, Spider-Man, Iron Man, Batman, all these fucking guys. Not too many heroes were, you know, eventually, you know, black kids can actually look up to, whether it was Luke Cage or Blade or Black Panther or even Storm or whoever. I mean, this was a movie that needed to be made for the time that it is now. Could it have been done in the 90s or the mid-2000s? Sure, but it would have been as good? Fuck no. It would not have been nearly as good. This was the perfect movie for the perfect time, what's going on right now. You know, the whole Black Lives Matter, the fact that Trump's fucking president, and, I mean, we needed this. So this was not only a great movie for a great franchise, but this was also a great political statement. And you know what? I don't necessarily need to put politics in my YouTube videos, but enough is enough. This shit has got to fucking end. So I'm grateful that Black Panther was made. So I got a sense of pride, and I had a swell of gratitude that this movie was made just from the opening 5 minutes. Just Oakland and the whole theater, the whole community was like, "Hey, Oakland!" That made me feel at home. It made me feel like I was going to, no matter how the movie ended up, I was going to enjoy at least that one part, and that was good enough for me. So, flash forward, and it's the aftermath of Civil War. So at this point, Captain America Civil War, is now like the linchpin, where everything is sort of connected to. Before, it was Avengers Age of Ultron, and before that, you could argue it was Avengers and then Captain America Winter Soldier. Because a lot of the other movies, like Guardians of the Galaxy or Thor, were sort of out in space. This one was like, this affects us. You know, the incident in New York City, the Sokovian bullshit, the shield kind of falling down. So those are the templates. I mean, Doctor Strange, nothing really happens in Doctor Strange that affects the world or that affects the United States on a whole. Doctor Strange is still kind of like, wait, did you hear about what happened in London? Like that, or in small parts of New York? Like, that's very minor. I mean, and the fact that, like, he undid time, you turned back time, kind of undid everything that we were aware of. So, I mean, you could argue even something like in Spider-Man didn't even really fucking make much of a difference. Not to us. I mean, Spider-Man was very much just the streets. The only one it really affected was maybe Tony Stark and Spider-Man. But anyway, so this one, it is basically a direct sequel to Captain America Civil War. Because a good chunk of what we know is about Black Panther is in Civil War, a part that we had never seen anything. Just like Spider-Man Homecoming is basically a direct sequel to Civil War. So, like I said, as of right now, Civil War is that linchpin to everything. Any new references might reference, earlier shit, but right now Civil War is the main thing. So we know how T'Chaka died. He died of Baron Zemo. We know that at first he was going through, T'Challa was going through his arc was basically in Civil War, where he took on the mantle of Black Panther because he was out for revenge for the death of his father, for the murder of his father. And at the end of that, spoilers for if you haven't seen Civil War, it's all about how he is aware that vengeance has consumed Zemo and how he needs to move on and how it will not consume him anymore. I mean, he blatantly says, like, vengeance has consumed you. I'm sorry for that fucking accent, sorry. It will consume me no longer. So that's his arc. At this point, it's all about him just becoming king and starting the process of becoming a king. So, movie starts with him doing like a rescue mission, and we find out that the rescue mission is more about saving his fucking girlfriend, his ex-girlfriend. What the fuck is her name? Her name is fuck. What is it? Nakia. Nakia is played by Lupita Nyong'o. God, I'm fucking up on these names. I'm so sorry, guys. Lupita Nyong'o. And sorry. So he like rescues her, and then his bodyguard, the chick from Walking Dead with the fucking samurai sword. This is not going to be an easy video to talk about. Sorry. All right. You know what? Let's skip ahead. So he's all about being king. He gets challenged by basically Man-Ape. They don't explicitly call him Man-Ape, and they don't put him in the costume because I read this, there was actual like concern that it would be considered overtly racist. Black guy putting on a gorilla costume, looking like a big ape. That would have just been fucking, catnip for racist fucks to make comparisons and to joke about it. So yeah, on one hand, it is smart that they didn't show that. I wish in a society they could have shown that, but the world's fucked up, so it makes sense. Would I have liked for them to make a reference to his name, Man-Ape? Yeah, but you know what? It's not going to happen. Not now. They may do it in a sequel. Because that character, what's the guy's name? M'Baku. That guy, whoever played him, like that guy commanded a presence. He was amazing. He had this gravitas of intensity, and I was more genuinely interested in him than I was of the majority of the characters, because he is from a tribe that's up in the mountains that had been banished. And this is like, you presume this is like the first time they had challenged the right for the Black Panther mantle. So T'Challa says, I'm now going to be king. Anyone who wants to contest it, by all means. And M'Baku comes in and challenges them, and they fucking square off one-on-one, and he, T'Challa begs him to surrender so he doesn't have to kill him, and he surrenders. So now, even though it's not explicitly stated, there is a life debt. And later, that debt is repaid. And I guess thinking about it now, when you first see that, you're like, that's going to come back. Like, it's kind of obvious in a weird kind of way, but at the same time, you're so engrossed when you see the movie, you're just like, I don't know what the fuck is going to happen in this film. So, but looking back at it now, it is kind of obvious. So, at the same time, we're introduced to Eric Stevens, played by the really fucking charismatic Michael B. Jordan. And I've been slowly becoming a big fan of Michael B. Jordan ever since I saw the movie Chronicle. And Chronicle, for me, I didn't know any of the actors. I didn't know. It was very sort of like, these are the new upcoming actors. But I remember watching Michael B. Jordan in it and being like, this fucking guy's going to be a star. I don't know who the fuck he is. I don't know where he came from. But this dude is going to be a star. And then eventually I was like, holy shit. Like when Fruitvale Station came out, also directed by Ryan Coogler, I was like, this fucking guy's amazing. he is an actor. He is not only just a good-looking movie star, charismatic, charming guy. He is a fucking actor. He embodies and completely engulfs the role that he's playing. So much that I'm a big Rocky fan. I've talked about it. When I was like hearing about Creed, I'm like, oh God, who cares? And then I saw the trailer, I'm like, oh shit. Like, Creed was so fucking good, and a lot of it goes to Michael B. Jordan and Ryan Coogler's directing. Can you just, for 1 second, let me segue to Ryan Coogler. He's made 3 movies. That's it. They are Fruitvale Station, Creed, and Black motherfucking Panther. That's it. His filmography is so impressive for as young as he is, and as how it just increases in talent and style. And I mean, he already is like as adept as a filmmaker as Spielberg, Coppola, Scorsese, and he's only made 3 goddamn movies. That's like, imagine if Scorsese, his first 3 films were Goodfellas, Raging Bull, and I mean, we'll throw fucking Gangs of New York, or maybe fucking The Departed, or something. Like, those are his 3 films. You would be like, wow, what the fuck can this guy do next? But Scorsese gradually became better and better, increased his filmography. Spielberg, same way. Imagine if Spielberg only, like, in the beginning of his career, it was Schindler's List, Jurassic Park, and Raiders of the Lost Ark. 3 that radically different films, but or we'll even throw in like E.T., being like, what the fuck? This guy is just a genius. That to me is what Ryan Coogler is. I am more invested and more enthralled and more excited about what Ryan Coogler can do and what's going to come. The motherfucker is from Oakland, so I definitely have a sense of pride of being like, one of mine. And he's barely older than me. He's like 30. Is like the new it boy of Hollywood. I mean, this guy, I don't think he could fuck up his career at this point. He's already doing an amazing job. And he's doing an amazing job just as from making stories that are personal to him and a part of his life. Fruitvale Station was important to him because he was from Oakland, and we had a tragedy in Oakland where a kid got shot by a cop at Fruitvale Station, a BART station. Creed was all about how his father was going through like cancer or some shit, and his father was a big Rocky fan. So it was all about him and his father sort of becoming close again and getting through this, going over this hump together. And he wrote it as basically like a love letter to his father. And you could see that with the, you know, Stallone, with the Rocky character and the Creed character. It's all about loving your father. It's all about having a father figure. And Black Panther is all about, hey, I'm black and I don't have my superhero. Where's my fucking superhero? Where's my Captain America? Where's my Captain of Africa? I mean, pure brilliant storytelling. I'm ready for the next one. I'm ready for his next film. So Michael B. Jordan falls in that. Michael B. Jordan has been in all 3 of his films. I mean, you can argue that Michael B. Jordan is Ryan Coogler's good luck charm. If he makes another film and Jordan is not in it, you could say that if it flopped, that's why. So now we have our own, like, the new generation Scorsese De Niro. That's basically what this is now. I love the teaming up. And so I'll get back to the characters. So Killmonger, that's who Eric Stevens is. Killmonger, again, I don't know shit about the character of Killmonger. But in this one, he is the kid. Spoiler, he is the kid who looks up at the spaceship in Oakland. And we realize what happened. We find out that his father, God, I'm already blanking on the fucking name again. His father, the T'Challa's uncle, Unjubu, in a struggle, he tries to kill Forrest Whitaker's character, And T'Chaka is forced to kill him. Just forced to kill his own brother. And leaves the body. And they knew that he had a son there, and they left him. So, come Eric Stevens, Killmonger, running up to the apartment, finding his father dead. Knowing about his lineage, knowing all about Wakanda, knowing about everything. He then takes on revenge to basically usurp. Is it usurp or usurp? Take over the throne and the mantle of the Black Panther role. To become king of Wakanda. Because to him, it is his birthright. He has just as much to claim as T'Challa. And this is a rare villain where you're like, you kind of look at it and be like, motherfucker's got a point. Like, every villain, in some ways, has a slight point. Even, they can be ruthless, they can be terrible, but you can understand, to a certain degree, their point of view. You don't agree with it, but you understand what they're intending. Because my whole argument for villains is a villain doesn't think he's a villain. With very rare exceptions, a villain thinks he is the hero of his own story. Voldemort, the Joker, Darth Vader, whoever. Yeah, they want to control the galaxy, they want to control the world, sometimes they want to destroy the world. But in their own mindset, they are doing it of a point of view that is noble, or is they're heroic. No villain is like, I'm the bad guy, I'm going to fuck shit up. Except maybe the Joker. This guy, Killmonger, definitely falls in that category of being like, I just want what's owed to me. I was cheated. My father was killed. I was expected to, be raised in Wakanda. After a while, my father and I were going to leave Oakland and go to Wakanda, and I was going to become royalty. He is just a shadowy nudge of T'Challa. He and T'Challa are cousins, and they may as well just be total mirrors of each other. Now, one of my criticisms of the Marvel films is usually the villain is just the evil version of the hero. Iron Man had Ironmonger and also Whiplash when he was in his own Whiplash iron suit. Captain America's other version was another test subject that just reacted badly. Red Skull. Thor, his fucking villain is Loki, who literally is his adopted evil brother. Ant-Man had Yellow Jacket. It goes on and on and on. So, on one hand, am I really kind of like, well, fuck. Black Panther's evil nemesis is basically the Golden Jaguar, and to even further it is his evil cousin who has just as much of a birthright to claim the throne as he does. So part of me was like, fuck. But on the other hand, I was like, that makes a lot of fucking sense. I'm actually okay with it. I'm fine with it. It made a more compelling villain. And if it wasn't Michael B. Jordan, I would be like, fuck this guy. If it was anybody else, I'd be like, but Michael B. Jordan is so charming that you're kind of, in a fucked up way, rooting for him. My favorite villain of this, though, was Andy Serkis playing Ulysses Claw. I was such a big fan of... I am a big fan of Andy Serkis in general, whether he's doing motion capture or whether he's an actual acting, and he's acting in this one. I mean, the motherfucker needs an Oscar. He is so talented that it is astounding to me that they can't even just fucking make a category for him. And I'm not going to spoil the whole movie, but they only really give you, kind of like what you see in the trailers is just a little less than what you see of him in the movie. And I really wanted more. I was really hoping that he could have been the main villain, because he is such an impactful villain to the Black Panther comics. It's really they kind of underused him, but they also used him perfectly. So I'm complaining about it being perfect, is how I'm doing it. I just want more. I'm such a fan of Andy Serkis. And to be fair, I've actually been rewatching the fucking Lord of the Rings movies, and I'm saving those for me and Stephanie to do. Because I don't think I could do the whole fucking Lord of the Rings trilogy by myself in one video. I need her to kind of speed through it with me. And she's more of a fan than I am, so I'm going to get a lot of hate for that video. yeah, we'll fucking talk about that later. So, supporting cast. Angela Bassett plays the T'Challa's mom. She's fucking great. We just go to the cast. Fuck this plot bullshit. All right, cast. So Chadwick Boseman as T'Challa. He's fine. He's great. I mean, to me, he is a great actor, but I don't really lush after him. I don't really, not ever really be like, oh, the new Chadwick Boseman moves out. He's fine. I also have a problem with the fact they keep putting him and making him super famous black people. Like, the guy who plays, I mean, the fact that he played Jackie Robinson and also James Brown makes no sense to me. Because you can't look like both Jackie Brown and James Brown. To be fair, he was phenomenal as James Brown in Get On Up. The movie itself, I did not like. I did not like the movie, but I thought he was astounding. And 42 was a good movie, but I also kind of felt like he was just okay as Jackie Robinson. But to be fair, he's fine in this. He fits the role well, but he does not wow me. But he's fine. I'm he's a good one. And he's also kind of completely overshadowed by the supporting cast, like Michael B. Jordan. Lupita Nyong'o, fuck. She's fine. I didn't really think she did anything super special. I liked her voice. Her voice was really hypnotic and deep. And actually, like, halfway through, I completely forgotten that she fucking plays Maz Kanata in Star Wars. I'm like, holy shit, I recognize the voice. Denai Guerra plays Okoye. She is the basically his general. And she's the bald woman, and she's tough as shit. She's awesome. I was really impressed by her. Martin Freeman plays the CIA agent Everett Ross that we saw in, which fucking movie was it? Oh, it was Civil War. See, it's exactly what I'm saying. So Civil War. He's fine. I kind of felt like they took him and made him the comedy relief, and I kind of would have liked to have seen him be a little bit more, I don't know. They just kind of made him too funny, I guess. I don't know. I'm going to fuck this one up. Daniel Kaluuya. He is basically T'Challa's best friend, and he's the head of security for the border tribe, so he is the first line of defense of Wakanda. This guy's having a good year. This is the same guy who was in Get Out. Now, I have not done a rant about Get Out. I should do a rant about Get Out. My little thing about him in Get Out was that he was very underplayed. I didn't think he reacted the way I would imagine I would react in his situation in the movie Get Out. My video just saved. I guess it's going to be a two-parter. Fuck. He did it to basically, he undersold his performance, is how I'm looking at it. But he was better in this movie than he was in Get Out. Okay. Letitia Wright as Shuri. Holy shit, man. I can talk about her forever. She is not only the sister to T'Challa, but she's also his Q. Now, I did a whole conversation, I think, about Kingsman, as well as when I did the Dark Knight movies. I talked about how some of my favorite parts of the James Bond movies are all the gadget sequences, the interactions between Bond and Q. Be like, now pay attention, 007. You see this pen? This pen, it's not only a pen, it's a fucking laser. So, it's a laser that cuts right through everyone. Blah. Like, I love that shit. She is his Q. And she's fucking awesome. And she's 16. And she's cute. And she's funny. And she's also playing it off like a 16-year-old girl. She's also fucking badass. And you find out she's actually more intelligent than Tony Stark. And I saw this great meme where it showed, like, someone had put Tony in, like, the Wakandan lab room. And he's like, you made all this technology and you're how old? And she's like, you feeling up for some competition, Mr. Stark? And the expression on his face is, I mean, That has to be a scene now. That just has to be a scene. There's got to be a scene where they just fucking interact and just like, you're how old? I mean, I also heard, I think I heard it from Mark Bernardin, who I follow because he does Fat Man on Batman with Kevin Smith. I think he said something like, dude, what if, like, if Tony dies, she takes over the role of Iron Man? Because the new reboot of Iron Man in the comics is a young black woman named, like, Riri Williams or something like that. Well, I mean, it kind of goes hand in hand. I mean, they fucking redid Ultron. Why not? Are people really frothing for Riri Williams? I don't know. But I would be totally fine with fucking Shuri being the fucking next Iron Woman. Like, that makes more sense to me. Plus, she's a fucking genius. She could have Wakandan armor to go with it, as well as have the Stark Industries kind of shit. I'm fine with that. That makes absolute sense to me. There's a fucking hella funny part where she's showing off the armor, the new armor to T'Challa. That is just absolutely fucking hysterical. All right, let's go through the rest of the cast. And I normally don't go crazy for the cast, but this cast is fucking great. So M'Baku, Winston Duke, where the fuck he is, he did a great goddamn job. Angela Bassett plays Ramonda. T'Challa is Shuri's mother, and the Queen. I kind of felt like she was perfectly used. They didn't kind of throw her in. She was a perfect supporting cast mother. Forrest Whitaker is Ziri. He was fine. I liked his performance in this a whole lot more than I liked him in Rogue One. I fucking did not like his performance in Rogue One. Like, you know, what will you become? His fucking stupid voice. I thought he was fine in this. I liked him in this. Andy Serkis we talked about. So John Connie replayed T'Chaka. And I think he's supposed to be Rafiki in the Lion King live action adaptation. So I'm all for that. Sterling K. Brown plays Njabu. He was good. Stan Lee has his cameo, and there is another cameo at the end, and I will spoil that. But I have to talk about the set design. Whoever fucking created this world of Wakanda, I will actually personally be really pissed off if they don't win an Oscar. Whoever fucking came with the costumes, I think it's a woman. That her name deserves to be fucking mentioned because that was astounding to me. Let's find her. Where is she? Okay, I think I found it. That was easy. No, it's not her. While I'm trying to find her name, I will talk about whoever did it, and I'll find her. She captured full-on African tribal gear as well as a futuristic world. Like, in some ways it's alien, the other ways it's very home. It very much feels like Africa. I mean, you see the typical African mountains and fields and shit like that. For that, it feels like it. Okay, design. Here we go. Just trying to find the fucker's name. It just says Cole. Beechler. Beechler wanted to honor the comics with her designs, then fill the gaps with research concentrated on the sub-Saharan Africa, pulling inspiration from Uganda, Rwanda, Burundi, the Democratic Republic of the Congo, and Ethiopia, as well as designs of Zaha Hadid. I mean, it says it right here. Describe the approach as a love letter to Africa. That's exactly what it is. It is a fucking love letter to Africa. You see the lip plates. You see the necklaces that kind of spring up the neck. You see the hairdos. You see the hairdress. You see the shawls. It is perfect, and it's always kind of in the background. And I saw online there was a running motif where there's a casino scene, and the three main characters that are in the scene that represents the Wakandan part are in the order of the flag. Like one's wearing red, one's black, and one's blue or green. Green. I'm sorry. And they're in that's showing the Wakandan flag, or just basically the stereotypical African flag. I mean, it is. Someone described it as Afro punk. I mean, it's pretty spot on. It is kind of like, it's like if you took the Emerald City of Wizard of Oz and sort of made it more African. It is because the buildings which are cloaked are sprawling and futuristic, and it's got a lot of purple from the vibranium. But it just is. Whoever did that, man, that is fucking impressive. And the language that they're doing is old Nigerian language. I mean, the written language is of Nigerian. Yeah, I mean, Jesus, they fucking focus their ass off on this movie. The set designs are flawless. The fact that they are speaking an African, like, I don't know if it's Swahili or fucking Zimbabwe or whatever the fuck, but they are speaking Wakandan. I mean, you walk out of that, like, Michael and I were, like, doing this shit because it's like a tribal dance where you're just like, you just get pumped into it. Yeah, I fucking enjoyed the hell out of this movie. Stephanie did not. And I'm not going to kind of throw her under the bus on this. I am going to say the issue she had, I understood. But I'm not going to talk about that. At some point, maybe she and I will do another parter for this video, and we can recap on this. If you're curious about her opinion, feel free to drop me a line, and I'll see if I can grab her, pull her in, and we can be like doing this shit to each other about Black Panther. But she walked out of that movie not really impressed. But her, like I said, her feelings were sound. Her theories and her issues were sound. The main one that I can give her, that I will throw in, and I can kind of agree, is that she kind of in some ways felt like it was a cheap shot. The fact that this is one of the most technologically advanced countries in the world, and has been completely hidden for generations upon generations upon generations. She didn't really find that believable. She found that it was sort of just a cop-out that all of a sudden we're finding out about this place. And to see her point, I did kind of remember that in Civil War, we saw the Black Panther. And at one point, they're like fighting in, Germany or something? And never once was anyone like pulling out a cell phone being like, who the fuck's the cat guy? Especially Spider-Man blatantly filmed everything, but like, especially in the world where everyone's pulling out their cell phones. I mean, people are fucking filming their cell phones fight on BART stations. I've seen it. Every time I'm like, oh, it's a fight. Oh, that's BART. I know it. I know that one. You would expect some word to come out about Black Panther, and it's sort of surprising that it hasn't, especially since Ross, Martin Freeman's character, is now aware that this guy is not only the king of Wakanda, but also dresses up like a fucking cat. So you would expect him to have like a little bit more of a firm leash on him, and it was kind of disappointing. I mean, look, I'm fine with the film. I loved it, but I also do see her logic. And again, if she wants to join me at some point to do a follow-up on this video, I'm fine with that. Because this video, I'm going to have to split into two parts, because for some reason, my fucking video feed only reaches like 35 minutes for something. This is going to be like, this part is going to be a 10-minute video after the 30-minute video. So, anyways, Overall, I loved it. I thought the music was kind of underwhelming, but I definitely responded to it. I didn't. Everyone loves the soundtrack. I haven't listened to the soundtrack, so that's me. One thing I have to talk about is the cutscenes, the bonus credit scenes. Now, I'm not going to ruin them both, but I'm going to ruin one. And it's the final one. There's two. Winter Soldier comes back. And I was kind of like, where the fuck is he? He's got to be here, right? We're going to see him frozen or some shit. He shows up at the very fucking end. And what I thought it was, because the second bonus credit scene shows, again, spoilers, shows 3 or 4 African kids looking into the camera and looking and smiling and giggling. And I was thinking, is he going to fucking end it with them, like, looking into the camera and then it's going to cut to black? Like, kind of like a fuck you. You're like, you're looking for another one? No. And then you hear someone say, get out of there. And they run out of the tent. It's a tent. And then fucking Bucky comes out of the tent with like a beard and long. I mean, he already had long hair, but he's like longer hair, and he looks sort of like he's getting his shit together. And he talks to fucking Shuri, and he's just like, you know, she's like, she calls him, you know, she calls him Barnes, like Sergeant Barnes, and he's just like, my name is Bucky. And then it kind of just fades to end. You're like, because we knew he was coming back because we saw the trailer for Infinity War. If you haven't, you should see the trailer. 2, you should see my reaction video. That shit was funny. So we saw him running. We're like, oh, he's coming. Winter Soldier's coming back. And he wants to be called Bucky. He's sort of getting his humanity back. I can't wait, man. I can't wait for this shit. So, how would I rank it? In terms of the Marvel films, I would say it is definitely up there for the freshest ones that I've seen in a long time. It has not really too much stale. I mean, you kind of know what's going to happen. You know the big finale. You know what's going to happen. Blah 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 blah. Especially since the Infinity War kind of ruined some things. You're like, I know the African tribe is coming back. We know Black Panther's going to win. Spoiler: he's going to win because he's in the fucking other one. So there's a part where you think he's dead. We're like, no, he's going to come back. We know he's going to come back. This is bullshit. Did it take me out of the movie? Not really. I still was like, I know what's going to happen, but I'm still enjoying the fuck out of it because it was action galore. It was very funny. And it was just a Marvel movie we had never seen. And it was a movie, period, we had never seen. So that alone I loved. I mean, if someone were to have me explain to them what it's like, I'd be like, imagine it's coming to America and Iron Man. Boom. Done. Yeah, I was thoroughly impressed. Is it a go out and fucking see it? It is a go out and fucking see it movie. Well made. Ryan Coogler is a fucking genius. Yeah, I loved it. So, what'd you guys think? Did you guys have the same opinion to me? Did you have the same opinion as Stephanie? Again, I'll have to drag her in and we'll talk about it together at some point. But overall, I thought it was very well done. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment, and share. And Wakanda forever. Bye, guys.